Hey there, how's it going? So since I've been doing a few of these car reviews lately, I thought it would be kind of fun to actually talk about my first car. And I want to talk about that because I think like your first car it's kind of special. I mean, it's sort of like your first love. I'm not saying you have to stay with it for the rest of your life, but it is a special feeling sort of, and you can't really get that feeling again ever. So I was kind of a late bloomer when it comes to cars and driving. And that's because I grew up in the city. I mean, my high school was in the city, my friends were in the city. I didn't really need a car. And whenever I needed to go somewhere else, I had this thing called a OV pass, which is basically a freebie pass for the public transportation if you're a student. But enough about that. My first car was an Opel Astra 1.6 G from the year 1999 with a whopping 75 horsepower. 1.6 petrol engine. Yes, it was awesome. For you viewers in North America, you probably have no idea what kind of car that is. And that is because the brand Opel, in the United Kingdom they call it Vauxhall, is not sold in the United States and Canada for as far as I know. It is being sold in South America, but not in North America. There are probably a few Opel cars running in North America, but those are obviously important. To a lot of people, these cars are sort of known to be kind of bland, kind of boring. And to be honest, they are. I mean, it's not a special looking car, it's not a fast car, it doesn't handle in a spectacular way, it's just a very normal basic car, but it was my first car, and that's why I loved it. Another reason why it's special to me is because I made the most holiday vacation trips in that car. I've had it for a little less than 2 years, and in those 2 years we basically drove it to Berlin, 2 times by the way. We drove it to the south of France, we drove it to Italy, we drove it again to France, to the Dordogne area, and we drove it to Slovenia, yes. So yeah, we drove a lot in this car and we had a lot of cool memories. So one memory in particular is really funny and I want to share that with you. So we were in the south of France, and when we were there, we were sort of looking for, you know, day trips, things to do, things to see. I mean, everybody does that when they're on vacation. So long story short, we found this dam that was destroyed in the 60s. It was about 40-50 kilometers from where we were, and we thought, hey, this might be a nice trip, so let's go there. So when we put this in our navigation system, it asked us if we wanted to use the toll road. And cheapskates that we were, we just thought to ourselves, we can just find some B roads. We don't want to pay for a toll road, so let's just go on an adventure and skip the toll road. So that's what we did. Unfortunately, because of this, we ended up in some sort of a crazy back road with rocks and dips in the road and hills. The road was terrible. I mean, it was meant for like Jeeps and four-wheel drive cars, not for this small hatchback of ours. So I ended up running in front of the car and picking up bricks and throwing them away while Jody was in the back and still driving, and I was just sort of directing her like, oh no, go like this, go like this. It was terrible, but in the end it was also a lot of fun. And even more so, our little Opel Astra, Vauxhall Astra, survived the trip without any damage. Awesome little car. So here's a little clip of that day. I filmed it with my phone, but you can get sort of an idea of what we encountered that day.
Oh, daar ga je voor moeten remmen. Dat is een flinke remmen. Meer remmen, meer remmen.
Ik was al aan het remmen.
Oh dear God! Ja, uitzicht is wel magnifiek.
So yeah, first car. Great memories, great stories. And now, of course, I'm really curious, what was your first car? And do you have any cool stories with it? Did you keep it for long? Did you do nice road trips? Hey, maybe you even lost your virginity in your first car? Who knows? Anyways, let me know in the comments. I'm really curious, your first car. What are your stories? So thank you guys for watching once again, and see you in another video. Peace.